Wondering what's happening in the property market? Matthew Dorr, mortgage broker and financial advisor here, and I'm here with long-time property investor and property coach for the last 10 years, Gary Lynn. Welcome, Gary.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, so Gary, what can you tell us? What's going on in the market at the moment?
Obviously, the property market is being put on hold. It's the whole economy, pretty much, because of the COVID-19 lockdown. And I think over the next 3 months, it's really driven, the property market is really going to be driven by people's confidence, consumer confidence, and obviously the economy. You know, unfortunately, that a lot of businesses are laying people off. A lot of businesses aren't doing well. And there will be people who are going to be in financial distress and forced to sell. And that will obviously have a negative impact on the property market. How big the impact is going to hard to say, because obviously government have really put up support in terms of letting banks to give 6 months mortgage holidays and deferrals, interest-only extensions and stuff like that. So you want to have to see, but it's going to be going down, right? Prices. It's just we'll just have to wait and see.
And as a savvy investor yourself, and other sort of more savvy investors as well, what do you think is the projections for the market, say in the next year or two?
Yeah, next year obviously it would depend on how fast the economy recovers. I think there's a lot of reasons that the property prices will go up, but obviously it's going to be medium and long term. I mean, if you look at migration, for example, obviously it has stopped. People can't come in, but actually Kiwis are returning in droves because of obviously Australia economy is not doing well. So a lot of Kiwis will return, but also a lot of Kiwis that in New Zealand that are looking to, say, move to Australia, move overseas, they have to put their plans stop as well. So you got more people coming back and less people going out. You know, so we will still see probably net migration positive. And the other thing also is that the interest rates. I mean, interest rates is, in the last year or so, last 12 months have dropped 25-30%, right? So eventually when the economy start to recover, start to bounce back, that's going to be a major catalyst for the next property boom, because property cycles, come around every 10 years or so. I think that obviously the next cycle is starting now from the bottom, and then over time it's gonna go up over time. Yeah, because of obviously lower interest rates. Population is still growing. Yeah. I'm very positive in the next 2, 3, 4, the next 10 years, definitely.
And yeah, Gary, if we've got I've got quite a few clients who are looking to invest or secure their financial future, or perhaps people who are in their 40s and 50s who would like to make an investment for their retirement. They are looking at different investments and looking at residential property. Is there any sort of tips you could give them to able to invest successfully over in general?
I think that for tips for beginner investors, any investor really is you got to work out your goals. Like when you retire, how much passive income do you need? Is 1,000 a week plus obviously super, or 2,000 a week if you want a better lifestyle. And then once you know that figure, then you can back calculate as to how many properties you need. So for example, if you need 3 or 4 properties to maintain, let's say, a 2,000 a week lifestyle, and you got no investment properties right now, then in the next 10, 20 years, hey, 4 or 5, even 5 properties, that's your goal, right? And that's without mortgage. Right? Obviously, mortgage interest rates are probably going to, potentially, who knows, but it's going to remain low. Personally, that's what I believe. I mean, even lower, giving, overseas examples like Norway, negative interest rates and all that stuff. So yeah, I think don't have your money sitting in the bank. You got to make it work for you. Invest now, because term deposit is not going to work now, and then in the future it's going to be even worse. So there'll be more investors in the market, and I think the biggest key thing is the fundamental power of investing is you invest for cash flow, right? Obviously capital gain as well. You need a balance of both, and more leaning towards cash flow, because you can survive on cash flow, right? And you can live on cash flow, and that's really the key to investing.
Gotcha. Thanks, Gary. And probably just one last question. What's the main thing that you see that holds people back from taking action. I mean, I see that a lot in my role, you know, where people are in a good position, but, you know, perhaps the uncertainty kicks in and they, you know, don't take action, you know, and that could be for years. You know, they might not take any action for years. You know, how can you, how is it best people can have the confidence to make an investment, for example?
Yeah, they need to begin with a goal in mind. You know, when they retire in say 20, 10, 20, 30 years, what's that going to look like without investing, right? How much pain that's going to be if you have to count all your dollars and cents, you know, weekly, week out, you know, based on the pension, you know, and pension and KiwiSaver, they're not going to be enough for majority of New Zealanders, right? It's going to be a very minimalistic lifestyle. If you want a better lifestyle, you got to work backwards, and you got to start doing things now. Otherwise, you're not gonna. If you keep delaying it, what's going to happen is the market is going to leave you behind. The market is like a constant elevator. You know, sometimes it might slow down in a recession or whatever, and sometimes it will speed up in a boom, right? And if you don't get onto the elevator, you're going to be left out.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks for that, Gary. Some really good tips there. And if you know, if people are interested in getting a little bit more help from Gary, who's an experienced investor, they can just go to Gary's Facebook page, and I'm sure you know, he's very. I know Gary is very giving with his time, and is always looking to genuinely help people, you know, move forward. So, hey, Gary, thanks very much for your time today, and hope you're surviving the lockdown. And you look forward to talking again soon.
Thanks, Matt. Cheers.